During World War II, battlecruisers stood as a remarkable blend of speed, firepower, and naval prestige. Originally designed to outgun anything faster and outrun anything stronger, these mighty warships evolved into fast, capable of striking hard and retreating swiftly. They carried massive guns comparable to battleships, but sacrificed some armor to gain incredible speed. By the time the war began, their roles had shifted from fleet hunters to carrier escorts and surface raiders. Despite newer battleships overshadowing them, battlecruisers remained vital in many key operations. From the icy waters of the North Atlantic to the vast Pacific, they fought with ferocity and pride. Each class had its own story, from daring duels to tragic losses. Their speed made them formidable pursuers, while their guns could devastate any opponent. Even as naval warfare shifted towards air power, their ships provide their worth in history's greatest sea battles. Here are the top 5 most powerful battlecruiser classes of World War II. Number 5. The Kongō-class. The Kongō-class began life as battlecruisers for the Imperial Japanese Navy and were later extensively rebuilt into fast battleship battlecruiser hybrids that served through World War II. The class became the most modern and powerful capital ships Japan had at the outbreak of hostilities. The Kongos carried 8 14-inch 356mm guns in 4 twin turrets as their main armament, and these guns were upgraded and remounted during interwar reconstructions to greatly improve elevation and range. The reconstructions added much heavier secondary and anti-aircraft batteries, increasing their anti-air and surface firepower. Their armor scheme was improved during reconstruction, but they retained a lighter internal protection concept compared with contemporary heavy battleships. The ships produced around 136,000 shp and were capable of speeds in excess of 30 knots, making them among the fastest capital ships in the world. Operationally, the Congo served widely with the combined fleet, escorting carrier groups, raiding, and operating in surface actions across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Number 4. The Dunkerque-class. The Dunkerque-class were French fast capital ships built in the 1930s, specifically to counter the new German pocket battleships and treaty cruisers, and were usually classed as battleships by the French, but performed a battlecruiser-like role because of their concentrated forward firepower and high speed. Each Dunkerque-class ship carried 8 330mm 13-inch guns concentrated in 2 quadruple turrets mounted forward, a layout intended to allow a heavier forward battery within treaty limits. Their protection employed an all-or-nothing concept, with a substantial belt and armored decks, though their weight and compact design represented a compromise between armor and treaty-limited displacement. The class was capable of design speeds around 29.5 knots, giving them the speed to outrun more heavily armored battleships while outgunning cruisers. The class's concentrated forward armament and relatively high speed made them uniquely suited to the interwar cruiser-busting mission envisaged by French naval planners. Number 3. The Renown-class. The Renown-class were fast British battlecruisers built during World War II and heavily modernized between wars to remain frontline units into World War II. The Renown-class's main battery consisted of 15-inch guns and 3 twin turrets, which delivered a heavy punch for their size and allowed them to outgun most cruisers they might encounter. The armor was modest relative to contemporary battleships, but was supplemented by later structural and protection improvements during interwar reconstructions that added armor plate and compartmentalization. Speed was a defining feature of the class, with designed and trial speeds in excess of 31 knots, making them ideal for scouting, commerce protection, and fast escort duties. Repulsor's loss in 1941 to Japanese air and torpedo attack underscored the limits of even modernized battlecruiser designs when faced with air power and lack of air cover. Renown survived extensive wartime service and multiple refits, which included updated anti-aircraft weapons and radar that kept her operationally relevant. Number 2. The Scharnhorst-class. The Scharnhorst-class were German fast capital ships built to design that balanced relatively heavy armament, good protection for their displacement, and high speed to act as commerce radars and fleet scouts. Officially classed as battleships by Germany, the Scharnhorst designs, displacement, speed, and operational employment often place them in discussions of battlecruiser-type roles because of their emphasis on mobility and striking power. Their main battery comprised 9 28.3 cm 11-inch guns and 3 triple turrets, trading caliber for rate of fire and weight savings that improved protection and speed. The ship's armor and internal subdivision were substantial for the displacement they carried. Scharnhorst-class propulsion produced high output that allowed operational speeds around 31 knots, permitting both raiding and fleet actions. Operationally, Scharnhorst-class saw major sorties against Allied convoys, the Atlantic raiding campaign, and later operations including the famous Channel Dash, Operation Cerberus, and Arctic convoy actions. The class's service history includes both successful raiding and the eventual loss of Scharnhorst at the Battle of the North Cape in December 1943, which demonstrated the lethal combination of radar-directed gunnery and coordinated fleet action against them. Number 1. The Admiral-class. The Admiral-class design produced only one completed ship, HMS Hood, which was effectively a one-off battlecruiser, completed after World War I and remained the Royal Navy's largest and most famous capital ship into World War II. Hood combined a very large size and prestige with heavy main guns and improved protection over earlier British battlecruisers, but the design still carried compromise in underwater protection that proved fatal in combat. Her main battery of 8 15-inch guns and extensive secondary batteries gave Hood massive surface firepower and made her a symbol of British naval strength across the interwar period. Despite later refits that improved fire control in some army areas, Hood retained vulnerabilities compared with modern battleships, particularly in magazine protection and underwater protection schemes not fully updated from earlier concepts. Her speed, about 32 knots, kept her capable of performing battlecruiser roles such as scouting, flagship duties, and fast response to surface threats. The ships lost to Bismarck in May 1941 due to a catastrophic magazine explosion after hits from German shells was a defining naval event that dramatically revealed the risks remaining for large battlecruisers facing modern heavy gunnery. Hood's sinking had huge strategic and moral implications for Britain, and prompted immediate Royal Navy actions to hunt Bismarck, showing how the loss of a single iconic capital ship could shape naval operations. With this, guys, we've come to the end of today's video, but if you've liked our video, don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscription button, and we'll see you again in our next video. Until then, bye-bye.